Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakudash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, this week's topic is going to be entitled, You Men Want Women to Rule Over You, right? You men want women to rule over you. And this is inspired by a video that's gone pretty much viral, all right? Brothers have shared it in the chat, wherein a so-called black man was talking about his experience being a quote-unquote passport bro, right? The passport bro. What's a passport bro? Passport bro are a group of men that decide that the women in their Western society are not submissive, not cooperative. So what they plan to do is go to foreign countries where the culture is the woman is far more submissive and in order, right? And in most cases it's successful, right? You go across the state, you find out that women appreciate you more, right? Especially in countries that are impoverished, right? Because the society that we live in, women make money, and with them being indoctrinated in feminism, they technically don't need a man, right? And if a woman does not need a man, she now wants a man. And if she wants a man, she's going to pick a very selective few of men. And the higher the demand for the woman, the higher her standards get raised for the type of men she wants. So guess what? She's less intolerant of what a man wants and desires, you know? So here's the conundrum, right? So guys just said, to hell with it, I'm just going to fly somewhere else where I'm more appreciated. Now, this one man, okay, in the video, he went abroad and he went to Japan. And you know the culture there, the women are very quiet, submissive. Hey man, I dealt with a woman from Korea. She didn't even speak English. We was communicating with the app. Even when she would laugh, she would cover her mouth. And she was like, that's how they would laugh. And I thought this shit was cute and very, very feminine. No sort of, you'll never see any loud words out of a woman like this at all. Super traditional. And to be like this loud mouth, monstrous sort of person, all right, that's very common over here in the West, especially with our woman, the so-called black woman, all right, the Latino woman, and the Native American woman, right? Mainly the black woman. Now, this man, he said, look, he did the experience of getting himself a woman from Japan, and he said after a while he was bored with her. This was his statement. He said, I was bored. She wouldn't challenge me on everything. She did everything I said. And he's like, we had this very long road trip. And we didn't say much of anything. And it was one of the most boringest trips ever. Now, you guys know, all right? Most men know, if you have a woman that will shut the hell up, you're not going to think she's boring. You're going to say, you know what, man, this woman is giving me peace. She knows when to speak, you know, because often women will just have conversations just to talk shit, right? Just to gossip and shit like that. Wherein when sometimes you don't want to do none of that. You want to speak and have a purpose in the things that you say. So pretty much he said he couldn't do it. He wants a woman that could challenge him. And on the panel you had the black woman nodding her head like this and this and the third. He definitely had the spirit of that dude in that movie Coming to America, Eddie Murphy, right? Where he had a very submissive wife that would literally much bark if he said bark and jump on one leg if he said jump on one leg, which is on point. He ain't want it, you know. He just wanted to be controlled. Now this shows you a lot. One, the social engineering of feminizing men is taking leaps and bounds here in America. And the prophecy wherein it says a woman shall encompass a man, that prophecy is also heavy, where now you want men that want women that will combat them. Literally combat them, combat your rule. Now let me ask you something. I don't know, you know, I've been in management over 12 years in my work career. So I've always been in a position, not always, but I've been in a position for a number of years where I pretty much tell people what to do on an operation or a job site or whatever have you. And I love workers that cooperate, right? They listen. You tell them to do this, they do it. They don't buck up. If they challenge you somewhat in a constructive way to help the operation, They don't just argue with you for the sake of arguing with you. Why? Because that will stall the operation, right? You want somebody that's very cooperative in operation. It's the same shit how it's supposed to be in a relationship between a man and a woman. All right? The scriptures tell you the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the man is Yahweh Shai. The head of Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. Here is order. This is order. Now, the moment once, people start to supersede that order, I'm gonna go to God directly. God's my husband. That's what's gonna bring the disorder and the confusion, because you're gonna put something, you're gonna put out a statement, you're gonna say, look, I want this and that, and the third done, and she might say something like, well, the Bible says this and the Bible says that. Wait a minute. Your job is not to go above me and what I say, all right? Your job is not to tell me what the Bible says. Your job is to just listen to what your man says. See? So the fact that this guy out there, and I've actually heard guys in college say shit like that. I like a little argument on here. I want a little. Why? Because they're effeminate. You gotta understand, to be combative and argumentative and all that type of stuff, that's a very masculine sort of trait to have to be, I want to be the dominant person in this role. All right, that's a very masculine sort of trait. And what happens is these guys are effeminate, all right? So when they're effeminate and they get with somebody that's even hyper feminine, all right, they don't like that. You see? It's the same way, like if a man is truly masculine, all right, he's not going to last too long with a so-called boss babe masculine type woman. They're going to clash constantly because they're two A-type personalities. Even amongst these goddamn abominations, these same-sex relationships, all right? Leviticus 20:13, which is the abomination, all right? Even amongst them, you'll see that you'll have like a masculine one and a feminine one. Whether it's two males or two females, there's always a masculine one and a feminine one. You never see two masculine ones or two feminine ones, all right? That's the natural science of how the Lord wants, the attraction thing. There's always a dominant and a submissive personality. Now, when you have two of the same, shit don't last. It don't really go. Someone at some point has to be on top. You see? And the problem is these women want to be on top. All right? And now you have these men that are comfortable and like being the one bottom, being in charge, being told what to do, challenge me, and all that type of stupid shit. All right, that's the indoctrination. That's the fruit. All right, that's the modern day fruit or witchcraft or lies. Hosea 10:15. All right, that the so-called white man, the serpent, is spewing. And guess who's eating it up? Eve is eating it up, the so-called nigga woman. All right, and they're all getting Adam into it. All right, which is the so-called black man into it, man. This idea when it should be natural for a woman to combat her man, and you should like shit like that, and man, fuck all that. Women love that stuff, Yeah, we might give them drama because we're boring dudes, we might stir up the pot a little bit just to keep them, because look, at the end of the day, if you have any sort of, real experience with women, if you're a boring, so-called boring guy, all right, the way to entertain them is with drama and conflict, right? That's what really keep them around. That's what they call funny. You don't really like that shit. You much rather have peace and no arguments. But these women truly, they might say, look, I don't want none of that. But they get off on the guys that, they go on their phone, they see numbers of other bitches, and they see other bitches hitting them up and shit like that. They like that type of shit. They don't like it like they'll tell you, yeah, I like it when I find, a bitch in my man's. They're not gonna say I outright like it, but in their subconscious, they're getting their emotions stimulated, all right? They're getting their emotions stimulated. Now they could cry. Now they could argue. Now they could make, you make up with them and shit like that. And that's what's a fun relationship. Look, think about it. The guys, all right, the men, all right, that the woman truly sexually wants and desires are the ones that they call so-called toxic males, all right? Why are those males toxic? Because they can't be controlled, all right? You can't change them. That's how come everybody always bring up Russell Wilson and Ciara, right? Ciara is outright saying she don't need a man. She wants a man. And this stupid simp-ass nigga Russell Wilson is talking about, but I need you. She don't need me, but I need you. It's fucking simp. We know, everybody knows, all right? Anybody that can read spirits and situations know this bitch still wants Future. She want the bad boy type, man. She want the type of dude that the baby mama drama is. As long as she is the head bitch and with him, these women like shit like that, All right? That's what's fun to them. You see? They into that shit. But the men, we love peace, man. You know? We love peace. Just like if you was out, again, operating or managing a situation on a job site, you want the operation to go as smooth as possible. You don't want your fucking co-workers telling you what to do. Not your co-workers, pardon me. You know, whatever you manage a location, you don't want the under person, telling you what to do and how to run the operation, and you don't want that, man. You want to be the person in charge and everybody follows your rule. All right? That's how systems are supposed to be run, monarch style, okay? Of course you have, your different councils and stuff, but there should be one person with a final say so. Not two there's no two CEOs where two CEOs is ahead, and nah, man, there's one CEO. And then there's a chair board and shit like that, you see? Order. And mind you, this was a so-called black man, beard, very masculine, in appearance, had weight on him, like he worked out and all that. But you could see through that shit, like, this dude is a bitch. This nigga sound like the nigga woman, And the scriptures tell you a man shall be known by his gait, man. The moment that motherfucker started speaking, you like, yo, this is a super feminized man. All right? No man should be wanting this goddamn woman to challenge him, man. All right? That is out of order. You literally saying, look, I want a woman that's not in order. I'm bored. I want a woman that ain't gonna listen to me and do everything I say. You're bugged out, man. And you know where he got that from? He got that from the nigga woman. These women say that shit. Yeah, no, men like a woman that would challenge them and this, that, and the third. You see? They getting that from the woman. The woman is getting that from the serpent. She's getting that fruit from the serpent, and she's sharing that same fruit, all right, with Adam, with the man. And you bird brain niggas are eating that shit up. Now the men of the Lord ain't gonna eat that up. You see? We're not gonna bite into that fruit. We're good on that. We're gonna stick with how the scriptures describe how a man should be and run his household. That was a quick little in transit. I'm about to make my way into camp. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Chakodash, that belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.